invite Michael to his presentation. He's going to be talking about local content in the energy transition. So Michael, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dax, and good afternoon, everyone. As introduced, my name is Michael Shand. I'm the Senior Manager leading the Health, Safety, Security and Environmental Group here in Trinidad and Tobago, and the Global Lead for Quality Assurance across all of our regions and business units. We saw it coming. Our colleagues in Fleur, China had reported on COVID-19 between November and December 2019, not only novel in its true nature, but novel in that the response to COVID-19 would too be new to us all. When the executive team began formulating our response in preparation for the inevitable impact of the pandemic, one of our risk treatments took a deep look into our corporate responsibilities. As a company, we recognize that our corporate responsibility, or CR, and effectively the very sustainability of our business was heavily dependent on what we did next. Though we have been actively exercising CR and sustainability for a number of years, our approach needed restructuring. A global team of leaders from each region, including myself, made up the CR and Sustainability Committee that would be charged with developing our very first corporate responsibility report that would effectively become our baseline for innovating our new ways of doing business into the future. Our report was published on the 24th of August, 2021, and awarded the EcoVadis Bronze Medal, an accomplishment we are proud of given this being our first global report. The task then became ours, the senior management team of Trinidad and Tobago, to figure out just how we were going to make tangible and true our commitments to the mandates our corporation had set before us. A daunting task. But as the age-old saying goes, to begin, begin. After establishing our Trinidad and Tobago Sustainability Committee, sponsored by myself, we faced a blockade of ill-refined ideation. This allowed for humility, which brought us to the self-realization that you do not know what you do not know. In response, we established a charter to help meet this would-be combatant head-on, allowing us to establish catalyst baselines for effecting change. But knowing that we could not do this alone, we facilitated our business units' very first Sustainability Symposium, geared towards engaging all of our stakeholders and giving freely our playbook for a sustainable future to all happy to receive it. Our charter consists of 8 elements, all deliberately focused on domestic improvement, beginning with diversity, with special emphasis on those who are otherwise able, employee engagement, natural resource consumption, health and wellness of our people and those we may impact, innovation at the forefront, materials and waste, haulage and our supply chain, profitability at the core of every business. Supporting a regional effort to establish a data-centric baseline for carbon footprint, we set out to harvest intelligence to address the conundrum of not knowing what we don't know. To start the journey, we are focusing on the following areas: gas, diesel, natural gas, electricity, fuel oil, dangerous residue, acetylene, extinguishers, greases, lubricants, and refrigerant gases, all of which you can find throughout our operations. Delivering on local content can be interpreted differently, depending on which lens you view the world through and which hat you may wear. Essentially, though, local content is, as the environmentalists have said for decades, think global, act local. Beyond our charter, this slide, though eventually busy, explains our view of the world and how we can positively impact the space we occupy, either in-house or on our client facilities. At the baseline, it's about ourselves. How can we decarbonize our own footprint? What is our impact and what are we going to do about it? I would have alluded to the truth earlier. You do not know what you do not know. As you can see on the slide, we focus on our people, making sure they are multi-skilled, reducing headcount, and as such, people-based waste potentials, driving digital and cloud-based solutions, such as online inspections to prevent the breaking of containment and undesirable outages, specialty services like rope access, observed as commonplace today to minimize workfront real estate occupancy and time on tools, innovations in drone use, also providing advanced safety for plant and people. In Colombia, we have started our fleet substitute drive for electric trucks, revising how we select, use, and maintain our tools, taking a deeper dive into how we energize and consume power at our facilities, exercising local procurement, stimulating local economies, and how we engage and educate our people, and how we service our communities and the planet. The introspection here must be an honest one. Engaging with our domestic behaviors and practices means engaging our supply chain and other stakeholders. It means we have asked ourselves both the difficult questions and those that may be perceived as basic. For instance, where is our PPE produced and by whom? Where are the items we procure for reward and recognition coming from? Are we exercising unconscious gender bias with those companies we choose to work with, or excluding community members solely on their perceived capabilities based on disabilities and impairments? A focus on local content is so much more than having local suppliers. It's about the moral compass of the company. As we proceed to the next tier of the Stork value proposition, we see how we can best serve our clients in reducing their carbon footprint, providing advisory services, supporting studies and deeper dives through facility inspection, and at the baselining intervention areas. Opportunities for providing turbine reblading, reducing lag and improving performance, burner optimization, control system efficiency upgrades, waste stream conversion, and steam generation. Taking diesel-driven components to electric drives, introducing electric boilers, modular and scalable nuclear energy, fugitive emission reduction through to elimination, carbon capture, imperative given the inherent CO2 generation from our operating production and refinement facilities. Smart maintenance designed to reduce undesirable outages that result in venting and flaring. Again, thinking global, acting local, providing services geared towards sustainable development at home, creating a global impact. Globally, supporting the energy transition is inherently and directly impacting the world's carbon footprint. We are investing in new technology. We have a solid future with hydrogen at Stork, which my colleague Martijn Glass will speak about tomorrow. As illustrated at the top of the slide, cost effectiveness in maintenance by reducing to a lower cost base across the various energy feeders. The challenge I present to you, the audience, is to develop your own roadmap, a tiered approach as illustrated here, and make it better. Through the chamber, we will gift you our CR report, the Stork Trinidad and Tobago Sustainability Charter, digitally captured shorts from our symposium, including the opening and closing remarks, which communicate our why and what happens next. Change, and a pledge to work with all of you so that together we can make tomorrow's happen. This slide reminds me of the tale of the old man on his deathbed, telling his loved ones of his disappointment in himself. He thought he would change the world and found at the end he had not. His lesson was a simple one that you are familiar with. This synonymous with local content. Change yourself, you change your family, your community, your country, your region, the world. This basic construct, having foundation set in the power of one, is where we make our stance. We shall be the change we want to see in the world. Just a transformation, the transference of resources from the traditional to the future, is about safety and energy transition, not only in the skill sets that the energy chamber is helping to drive across the industry or through OPITO certified competency programs like ours, but in healthcare security, utility, such as water, electricity, telecommunications, access to information and internet security, access to and technology security, education security, cultural security, and of course, our country's economic security. Security against the poverty descriptions of the aforementioned. Trinidad and Tobago is well postured to support the just transformation of our people into green industries. We are quite hard on ourselves when we look internally at our competencies and HSSE practices. But having worked across North America, the LATAM, UK, MENA, and APAC regions over my 22-year-long career, I can assure you we are well advanced. We must believe in ourselves. And this leads me to a quote by Will Smith. There has to be a little bit of crazy, because you have to believe something that there's no evidence for. And then you have to devote your life to something that is not only invisible, but highly unlikely and potentially impossible. But you believe it wholeheartedly, because you can't change if you don't believe it wholeheartedly. There's a sliding scale of naivete to full insanity. And somewhere in there is a sweet spot of dream manifestation. Sustainability and safety in energy transition is literally about the tomorrows yet to see the dawn and the generation that follows. My children, yours, and theirs to come. As I've said many a time, sustainability in business is good business. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael, for that fantastic presentation. Very inspiring as well. I would like now just to go to our final presentation.